I'm Porter Brooks, and I am your host. Everyone's coming to the party. Don't miss it. Well, welcome to the show. I'm Porter Brooks, your host, and I've got a co-host. This is Greg White. Hey, Greg, how are you?
Good.
You're roasting. You're getting everything hot and spicy. Greg is actually roasting a poblano chili. We're going to talk to you a little bit more about that. But on this episode, it's all about those late night munchies when you've had a great night at a show or on the town, and you get home and you're reaching and you're grabbing for everything just to have a pretty solid bite in the tummy before you go to bed. So we've prepared a late night munge and grunge menu for you of everything that you can find in the fridge. It includes a stuffed poblano chili, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm going to do some chiliquillas. If you don't know about chiliquillas, well, they're all over Latin countries and they're often served at weddings. But if you're anywhere in Mexico, the chiliquilla bars stay open until about 4:30 in the morning. And everybody has their own way to do a chiliquilla, but essentially it's corn chips, nice and crunchy, and I'm just using some high quality store-bought. If you have the time to fry some up, you can actually do that. And chiliquillas have either a chiliquilla verde or a rojo, like the name of my dog, Red. I'm using a late night jarred sauce right on top. I really prefer enchilada sauce on these. It's just a different flavor. And we're gonna go right to those flavors of Mexico. So those are gonna be those jack cheeses, which I'm gonna sprinkle on the top. Those sharp cheddars. How's that going over there?
It's going
you
well.
Keeping the place?
I'm glad to know that you say chiliquillas because, you know, sometimes I just look at it and I say chilaquillas.
Yeah, no, chiliquillas. 2 L's is always a Y or an I in Spanish. Now, we've made some homemade cheese, which is fat-free, and I usually like queso fresco. It's that gorgeous Latin cheese that you find in the round, but I don't have any because it's a late night mess. So first I'm going to get some flavor on that with some beautiful Mexican cumin all over the top. And then I'm going to add some nice mild green chilies. And this is the type of recipe, it's late night, 2, 3 in the morning.
Homemade cheese, that is an awesome
Yeah,
concept.
we did it. It's really good. It's made from fat-free yogurt. I think I've got my cheeses. I've got my chiles, because they are chili quesadillas. And I'm going to reach right over you. And I'm going to now, if you're a traditionalist, you use eggs. I remember having to do these for a wedding, and it was the after party. They needed 300 servings of chiliquillas. One quick break, and that egg is going to go on. Oh, it's going to slide. That's okay. And the other one, we're going to make a better well for that. There it is. And another quick snap. One hit. The one-hit wonder.
Oh, the well's
right
a
there.
great tip. Look at that yolk just resting right in
Beautiful.
there.
So
This
these
is
go
roasted.
right in the oven. Greg, I'm going to just jump right in front of you. And how long? Until they're crispy like a nacho and that egg is nice and runny, because when you bite into that chiliquilla, that egg yolk is going to go all over the top, and you're going to eat it with, I think we're going to have some beer tonight. Beer and water. Beer and
Beautiful.
water
I
is
love when
really
that
what
yolk
we're going to be
bursts.
working on. Okay, so what's going on? You've roasted a
I'm
poblano.
gonna put this in a bag
Let me
and
grab
let
that
the
for
skin
you.
get
Oh, you
out.
got it right there. Go ahead and grab it.
So I left that.
Bring it forward. Turn that off.
We're going to close that up for a couple minutes and give that skin a chance to release.
Okay.
Because we need a texture. We need something for the batter to grab onto. So we're going to rough that pepper up.
Okay, so I'm not opening it up because I know that's not what we're supposed to do. Inside here is a Ziploc bag and a basic lunch bag. And what we're really doing is we're sweating the skin off. So it was first blistered right over the burner. And about how long does it take for that to
We're just
blister
doing
up?
like a few minutes. You know, when I was a
Okay.
kid growing up in Texas, we used to get sunburned so badly. My brothers and I would have contests to see who could peel the biggest piece of skin off the other.
Oh, that's
so
terrible.
That's the spirit I use in
That's
this
the
pepper.
spirit. Okay. Well, an easy trick, either into a Ziploc or a paper bag. I know, and being in Hatch, New Mexico, we'd fill a paper bag with chilies. They were all roasted off the barbecue, and my mother would roll up the bag and set it aside. What happens is the skin just pulls right off in your hands, and that gives you that beautiful roasted flavor. It transfers through to the poblano or the Anaheim or whatever you're doing, and then we can actually stuff it. So when we come, actually, we're going to do a tempura batter for you.
Yes.
Right? Talk to me a little bit about that. This is going to rest over here.
I like a tempura batter because it doesn't have egg in it, and it's really simple. We're just going to have a light, fluffy batter with seltzer water and flour, and this will be nice and light and really crunchy. You need that comfort food late at night, that grease to soak everything up that you've done.
I think so. And tempura, for those of you who don't know at home, is really a Japanese-inspired, and it's done with usually rice flour, right? But we're just making it with your regular flour that you're going to have in your pantry. Seltzer water, just like the kind that you buy down at the corner store. A little bit of baking powder. And what's going to happen is it's going to be this light, airy, almost cloud effect that will be dredging and frying and making this beautiful. I mean, this is really a jalapeno popper kicked
It
up,
is, but
right?
like I
mean,
said,
it's like a Big Daddy jalapeno popper.
You're coming home with somebody from your night of partying.
I don't know
and you
about
need enough
that.
for 2 people.
Or if you're already home with your sweetheart, maybe you make it for him or her.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to see the skin come off the chilies. We're going to take a look at our chilaquiles and see how those eggs are cooking up. I'm going to get on to my deli rosemary roasted chicken salad for everybody who doesn't want all the super greasy. And we'll see how a tempura comes together, how we do a little deep fry, but most importantly, how great friends who are in the food world really deal with it when the show is over late at night. I'm Porter Brooks, and I'll be right back. It's Porter Brooks with my guest, Greg Cope. We're back on our late night episode, and it's all about everything that you crave that you shouldn't eat, but you know you do it, all right? We put in some chilaquiles. If you're not familiar with those, you're gonna love this. All over Mexico, late night, they have these gorgeous, fantastic chilaquiles.
Oh, so scrumptious.
So scrumptious. So you see I put the 2 eggs on top of there, some of our cheese, and what I like to do, let me find a pair of scissors.
This is what you crave. All of this stuff, the cheese and the chips and egg.
Forget the scissors, use your best. Some beautiful cilantro is gonna go right over the top. Yeah, all over Mexico they have the chilaquiles bars, and it's just the best thing. It really is the conversion of the huevos rancheros and the spicy late night brunch that we have here in the States. But how simple was that? It was just basically some store-bought tortilla chips, red or green salsa, whatever in the house, right? Because it's late night. And then we're gonna cover it with all the cheeses that we have, the soft cheese, and then 2 beautiful eggs. Now remember what I always say, is repeat the flavor that's inside. So again, some cumin right on top, and those will sit there until we're ready to hit it, right?
That's
What were you
beautiful.
gonna
That's
say?
the flavors of Mexico. I like that it's all in one dish and that you were able
Yeah.
to load it up and then put it in.
Easy. And if you've got 4 or 5 people, you can do it like a big nacho grande, but I like doing the individual ones. Just use any oven bake vessel that you have that's oven safe and you'll be fine. All right, what's going on with that poblano in the bag,
pepper.
Mr. Greg?
Just pull it out like a rabbit in the hat. It's had some time to blister, so I'm just going to
Oh,
rub
can I
the
see it? Can I
skin
see it?
off.
Can I see it? Hold tight. Okay, so that is what that beautiful roasted poblano looks like. And you see how all the skin is just nice and light? And I know what you're going to do.
You need that
Teach
rougher
us.
skin for the batter. You know, peppers are so waxy, which is great.
Yeah.
It protects them while they're growing.
This is how we began.
That's
right?
how we began, but then we need to rough it up. You know, it's sort of like, just like we normally age, we're a little rougher as we grow older. But we're going to peel the skin off, and it's not really an exact science. And then we're going to cut, I'm just going to cut that edge and try to pull that seed pod out.
Okay, so you're going
This
to try
is-
to go for the whole stem at the same time.
This is not a spicy pepper, so it's
Yeah.
not important to get all the seeds out for the heat. But, you know, if you love the heat, turn that up. Get that spice up. Wake yourself up. With this pepper, which now we're ready to stuff with cheese.
Good, go ahead. So
And I've got your jack cheese.
Hold on, I'm going to bring it to you. Make
You-
it easy for you. So we have our jack and our cheddar.
I like to use cheese that's going to melt because you really want that. You know, we eat with our eyes, and when that cheese comes oozing out,
Can you all
after
see
it's
that
in
at
the
home?
hot oil, and it's just really
let me
loose.
see that, let me see that.
We've got that stuff with cheese.
Okay, so we've got both sides in there.
Yep, and then we're going to put this in some dry flour.
Mm-hmm.
We need something for the batter to stick to, and so we're just going to coat that with some dry flour, and then we're going to let that hang out.
Greg,
while
you're
we
so-
make our tempura batter.
You're so fast.
Well,
You're so
you-
fast.
don't-
We should. This should be like speed poblanos with Greg White. You're
I
going to
was
have
in the
to
Marine
blog
Corps.
on Eat Greg Eat. Okay, so if you didn't get that, let me help you out at home. And of course, I'm always using my tablet. What do you think about our tablets now? There it is. We had a whole fresh poblano, right? Which started out beautifully like this and ended up fantastically roasted right over a hot flame. Of course, you could do it in the oven under
You
a broiler
can.
just as well. And we have 2 cups of vegetable oil, just about halfway full on a nice cast iron heating up. And he's going to make a tempura batter, which is basically, go ahead. We have a cup of it's a cup of cuppa, right?
A cup of flour, and then about a cup and a half of seltzer water. You want
Okay.
that fizz because that's what's going to make that tempura batter light and fluffy and airy. Obviously, you've got air bubbles in here, so we're going to air it up. What about a cup and a half?
All right.
And then we're going to just put in about a teaspoon of baking powder. You know, you're not going to explode the kitchen if you put a little more, so it's okay. And then just a little bit of salt. We're going to salt this twice. We're going to salt the batter, and then we're
Right.
going to salt it when it comes out of the oil.
So the fluffiness that we're after in using a tempura batter is really light and airy. It's not your typical late night deep fried plate, which we all love, but this one is just really just has a light coating. Again, like if you've ever had a tempura shrimp or a tempura vegetable, real different effect. I think you would expect a heavy duty flour breaded thing. Now, how's our consistency? Do we need to
You want it a
tighten
little
that
bit,
up?
nope, this is good. You want it a little bit thinner than a pancake batter.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the reason I created this recipe on a pepper
make a
is because I
quesadilla.
didn't want a chile relleno. A chile relleno has egg in it and it's a limper, softer finish. I
Right.
wanted that crispy crunch. I want everything in that bite. It's all about flavor, it's all about texture, it's all about that ooze, and I wanted that crispy skin, and I knew a tempura batter would deliver that. So
Beautiful.
that's when I came up with this
I'm going to steal
concept.
some of your leftovers because it's a late
Great.
night, and I'm going to make us a quesadilla because I'm all about what was ever in the fridge.
You know, I
So-
was a sergeant in the Marine
I'm-
Corps,
I
so
know-
that's why I'm fast.
Is that why? Well, you are fast, but that's
They make
great.
us
It's
do
great
everything
for,
fast.
It's great for television. I'm going to just do a quick quesadilla, repeating all those same flavors. And so for you, is your next step into the oil?
It is. The
Okay.
oil looks nice and hot. I can test it. I can put a couple of
Why don't we
drops
do
in there
that right now?
and just see how it reacts to that. If it pops up, that's beautiful. See
Okay.
how that popped up?
Fantastic. And here are your tongs, Greg.
Great.
You want tongs, or do you want a low slotted spoon to lay it in?
I'm going to lay them with my hands.
Okay.
And,
Asbestos hands, do not try that at home. All right. Beautiful. Let's get that in frying. And I'm going to let my quesadilla just brown on one side. I think I'll add some cheese, other cheeses on top of it.
I'm going to
Like other
rely on
cheeses.
this batter to hold it together a
Nice
lot.
and easy. Okay.
And then you want to lay in from the front to the back, and that way the oil doesn't splash on you. So just
All
lay
the
it
way
in
to you.
and just lay it like that. And that's going to bubble. And what I want to do is when it's been in there about 20 seconds, I'm just going to run this slotted spoon under it to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom.
Okay,
That's
so
always the best, safest thing.
we'll let it sit right now.
Yep.
And I'm going to tweak and turn my quesadilla just a little bit. Oh, I like them cheesy and hot.
Oh,
just
you already
like
got that good color on the
Yeah,
outside.
It's all
Beautiful.
about the color.
What's
You
this
know,
cheese?
It's whatever I had left over in the refrigerator. It's late now. I think it's actually some Munster, to tell you the truth.
I'm just shaking this loose. It's loose. It's not sticking.
Can
You
I
only
help?
turn a pepper twice, just like the rule with fried chicken. You only turn it once. If you turn it more than once, it's going to be super greasy and absorb too much oil.
Wonderful. I'm gonna grab one of those spatulas right behind you.
I love quesadillas because, like you said, you can put so much in it that's left over. You can
It's
put
left over,
chopped
yeah.
ham, you can put turkey, chicken, anything.
You know,
Or
and
cheese.
nowadays when I'm hanging out with people, there's always a vegan or a gluten-free. And I love the gluten-free wheat tortillas that are available out there, and I like the different cheeses. So it's good to have.
I'm gonna
like-
grab these
Yep,
tongs.
There you go.
Just for safety, I'm going to let these tongs guide me as well. It's ready to go. And it's already got that brown color.
Turned over. Okay, so we've got the quesadilla turned. Greg
Can you see
White
that
has-
bubbling? Can you hear that bubbling?
Let
My
me get him
God.
out. Let
That
me-
is going in your body.
All right, so we've got it bubbling. Greg is telling us that it's bubbling, so we absolutely believe him. And we have the quesadilla turned over and the chilaquiles. I'm Porter Brooks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. It's Porter Brooks, and if you're just joining us, we've got a stuffed poblano from our great mega food blogger, Greg Cope White at Eat Greg Eat, right? I know you like Greg White just as well. And we're getting everything ready for a late night munch, and this looks ready. This looks
It
ready.
is so roasted. The color is great.
This
It really got crispy and brown. You can see that we're going to drain it here on paper.
paper bags actually are lunch bags, the same ones that we use, so you don't have to get fancy.
I'm hitting this
on
with
anything.
salt now. You want to hit it with salt when it comes out of the oil because that's when it's most vulnerable.
Meaning that it's gonna hold on, it's gonna adhere to the salt because it's
gonna
still
adhere.
wet. That looks beautiful, and you use that beautiful gray salt. Oh, man, that is crazy. Okay, time for you to take a seat and be the guest right
Great.
behind me.
You don't have to ask me twice.
Yeah, right. Have a seat, and I'm gonna finish up on just a couple quick things. All right, first of all, I see my quesadilla is all ready. I'm gonna let that cool because Greg has warned me that I need to cool that just a little bit before we cut it, right?
Oh, that quesadilla smells amazing.
It's fantastic. All right, now here is my last minute super duper speed scratch. I forgot everything recipe, and that is going to be my deli chicken salad sandwich. Nowadays you can find such great products. This is a pre-sliced rosemary chicken, and I'm just going to tear it up into my bowl. Can you guys see that? We have a lot going on here today.
Oh, you don't even need a knife. You're just
No,
grabbing it.
nope. The
Perfect.
deli's done all the work for me. A little speed scratch is what I like to call it. There's no way that you can honestly entertain with this many flavors and do everything from scratch. You know, 20 years ago we had to, but the products that are available today are just excellent. There's no reason why we shouldn't get a little bit of help from the deli or from the bakery. All right.
And it's more eco-friendly. Let them roast 20 or 30 chickens at once rather than us wasting
It
our
can
whole
be.
oven for an hour.
It can be. All right, so you saw some mayo going in there, and I'm gonna make this spicy with some really great Dijon. I like an unexpected element of some cracked black pepper, and a lot of it in here. And then I like to find something really simple, like some parsley or some dill. We'll just pop that in. Get a little bit of color.
The Dijon's going to be really nice with that rosemary.
Yeah, it's definitely going to provide a really wonderful flavor. All right, now, if you've never seen this done before, grab some dark balsamico, all right? And I mean the teeniest bit, just to give it some body. Well, since this is a late night munch and crunch, I don't even want to use dishes. I'm going to be using some takeout containers, which you can buy in different places. I'm looking for my knife, and I'm going to cut up a leftover baguette right down the side. A little stale is always best with this recipe because it is late night. Open that up in the palm of your hand and simply scoop that beautiful rosemary balsamico chicken right into your bun. Now, if you want to use a flatbread, you can do that, and I like it to be piling high.
Oh, nice and stuffed.
Yeah, we're gonna just drop that right in there. And another one for our poblano, okay? Mr. Greg White, I
You don't
wanna
know that I'm not
see-
eating this. You're back to me.
That's okay. Look at that. Now, I've got to tell you how impressed I am that the cheese hasn't all run out of this.
That
It
batter
really
really
is the
holds it in.
tempura batter. So let's go right on this board.
How's that
Let me
cheese
see.
looking
Let me
inside?
see. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Greg White cooks a stuffed poblano. I love this. All right, in we go. Knife, fork, and spoon for whatever we need. You got a napkin.
Great.
And the first thing I want to get into, what are you? I'm going for your chili right off the bat. I can't
You
stand
know,
it.
I want to taste your chilaquiles because I just love all that color and make it just bust open. You know,
Well,
the reason
it's
I eat late at
beautiful.
night, when I come home after being out, I eat late at night so that I can sleep in the next day because I figure I've already eaten. I've already
Yeah.
had breakfast.
Look at that, Greg. Look at that. Okay.
Take a bite.
Very killer. Oh my god. With the tempura batter. It's
These are
everything.
crunchy.
It's everything. You should have won. This was good. This will definitely win. One more of these.
Did you take
There we
the,
go.
can you get the roasted flavor of the pepper in there?
Yeah, I'm tasting all of it.
That
I think
was-
it's really worth. I think people at home might think, is it really worth the trouble? That is really worth the trouble because first of all, it's a whole different flavor
That took
profile.
just a couple of minutes.
And I like that. All right, let's chili key
I've
it.
loaded a little bit of each element in the chilaquiles.
Have
I
ya?
like to call that a
Let me
party
get it.
bite, and that way
Okay.
there's a little bit of everything danced under
Let's
the
go.
fork.
Here
And
we go. Oh, that's how it's supposed to be.
It is. I think
That's
by
how you
hitting it with
sop
the
it up.
cumin on top, that just reminds you that there's that other flavor underneath, and you're going to make sure and get it in each element. I love your homemade cheese.
Yeah, not bad, huh? Anybody can do it. All right, I'm going for the quesadilla.
I'm gonna have quesadilla.
Beautiful, beautiful color.
Cheers.
Easy. 2 seconds on a quesadilla. It's late night.
Ah,
Oh,
you hear that crunch?
I was under the stringy. You were under the crunch. Okay. Wow.
Oh, there's a little bit of a tart flavor from one of those cheeses.
It's the Munster. We added that leftover Munster, and it really all of a sudden this got to be like a gourmet quesadilla. I was going from my college days.
No, I like to amp it up.
Okay. What's next? You bite into the salad. I've had it. You do
Look
that,
at this
Jimmy.
beautiful salad.
Let me just get a piece of chicken. Oh my God. Okay. See if it's gonna be a hard bite. See if you can do it. Man, you are a messy eater.
I was in the Marines for 6 years. We were so grateful when the time came for food. We just ate whatever we could.
How is that?
This is great. It's the mustard. The mustard is the key in
And that
there.
balsamic, you're getting the vinegar.
Yeah.
I'm good. Let me get one right off the top there.
It's sort of like mashed potatoes. I put a tablespoon of Dijon in mashed potatoes sometimes, and it really adds that. The mustard, that is a great
Okay.
sandwich. Fabulous. And I
All right.
love the bread.
I've got to get another bite of this.
Wow.
That came out great. Oil temperature was perfect.
Ah, so light.
Tempura was perfect. Well, if you didn't believe me when we started this episode, the truth of it is that you can get it done in a late night. We just did it. It was so easy. We put everything together and send your friends to the other room, get them in the kitchen, grab what you have, and make just a great late night munch, grunge, fun time because everyone needs to go to bed with a full stomach. We got to feed the world. I'm Porter Brooks. You can tweet me at the Porter Brooks. You can check out Greg at Eat Greg Eat. He's all over the place. And as for me, I'll see you next time when I entertain the world one table at a time.